Hello everyone, today we'll be doing a solo flawless Kell's Fall exotic mission with Hunter. For my subclass, I'll be using Night Stalker. Here are the frags and mods I'll be using in this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using the scout rifle with the glaive. For my heavy, I'll be using Anarchy. And for the exotic, Graviton Forfeit. Because infinite invis is just nice for this exotic mission. This is going to be the exotic mission, Kell's Fall. This mission is replayable after you complete the whole Act 3 story mission. I mainly wanted to focus on completing this solo flawless. There is a couple of puzzles that you'll have to do to unlock the extra perks for the shotgun. But like I said, this is mainly just going for the solo flawless. And yes, I am using Night Stalker. Alright, I'm not using prismatic. I know if you go on prismatic, it would be way more faster run. Yes, I understand that. I am trying my best to try to do non-prismatic builds. It's really tough. I'm not gonna lie, the prismatic's really fun. Alright, it's really fun on Hunter, it's really fun on Titan, it's really fun on Warlock. So we are going to be doing some DPS at the first boss, the Trickster. Alright, so I am going to be using the glaive. Glaive is optional. I just want to use the glaive because I love glaives. I love the glaives a lot and I want to try out for this exotic mission. So just to let everyone know, when this mini boss turns invisible, he likes to put mines all over the room or whatever it teleports. It's really weird, but you'll see very soon what I'm talking about because we're gonna be facing him again later on in this run. We're gonna pass through this encounter, and I'm gonna be really honest. I just shot there just for giggles because the piano reminds me of Final Fantasy X2 near the final boss where you have to look for the symbols and then make sure you get all the correct symbols to play the piano. First things first, you must lit the fire. Alright, the fire power. We gotta take down the rocks. You can use a glaive to completely take down the rocks or a primary weapon. You don't have to use a glaive, but highly recommend to try it out. So once we go to the mirror, we go to this crystal room. So I'm gonna call it the crystal room since everything's all purple and crystally, or the mirror room. There's going to be a couple of scripts and a bunch of ads, so make sure you just clear all these ads. There's no timer. Or if you are an Invis Hunter or an Invis build, just finisher, turn invisible, or use ability, turn invisible, and then just make your way all the way over here and follow the fire power from the left side. Yes, that fire. Look for the fire and then just pass through the room and lit the fire from this direction. And then we're gonna break the crystal, well, the mirror, to go back to the normal world. Once we go to the normal room, I'm just looking for other fire lit. See, there was supposed to be one over there, but that's from the other mission. So make sure you look for the fire. So the door would open to the next area, and this is the mini boss area, the mini encounter, very soon. So we're gonna break the rocks from the left side or right side. After you shoot the rocks, just walk your way through the tunnel. Then after that, just make sure you go from the opposite of where I am. I was just looking if there's any thing going on in that area, so go straight and then make sure you go straight ahead. There will be a raid banner. Make sure you go ahead and rally. Now we're going to be defeating the boss, but first things first, you can break the mirror and go to the crystal room. So once we go through the mirror on the wall, where shall we DPS the boss? Okay, joke aside. So there's gonna be a bunch of moats, but we do need to take down the ads. So we're gonna take down the pit boss. For some reason, I don't know at the moment, but it seems to spawn the ads that we're supposed to take down, and it's usually these green little ads that we're gonna take down, collect the motes. So try your best to collect around 10, or until it tells you that you have the enhanced essence. You'll see what I mean, what I'm talking about. So right now it says that you have empowerment, alright? So once you have the empowerment buff, now I need to go back to the mirror. Now the mirror is from the opposite direction from this area. Once you go to the mirror, you're gonna go and take down the ogre. Now there's 2 ogres from the opposite direction. So you can pop a glaive or a tether. And then you go from the opposite side to take down the ogre. The good news is that there's no timer, but later on in the next encounter, we do have to deal with a timer. But I'll talk about that very soon, once we take down the ogre. Once we take down the ogre, now we're going to go and take down the Mad Bomber mini boss. Now he does have an overshield, so make sure you use Anarchy and the glaive. So another thing I could have done is I could have used my super for this boss fight. You know, I'm still new to this mission, so I could have done that for a faster, efficient run. So make sure you use Anarchy and then just use a glaive. Keep doing DPS until you can take him down, and then you can go to the next area. So this boss likes to throw grenades. And the reason why he's not throwing grenades because, well, because I'm turning invisible, that's one reason why. But usually he likes to throw a lot of void grenades. And he likes to stomp too when you get closer to him. Once you take down the boss, then you can go to the next encounter. I'm just gonna wait for the dialogue because I don't want to bug this mission out. So we're gonna wait for the dialogue, for the boss to just talk and talk and talk and talk. You know, he's a little frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. But don't worry, he'll disappear very soon. So I'm just waiting for him to finish his dialogue because he is not happy that we took down the Bama.
It's fitting that Fikrul is my first assignment as
Once I finish the dialogue half a bit, then we're gonna go to the next area.
Fikrul is at the top of that list.
So the next encounter is probably the most annoying. It's probably the most annoying one throughout the other encounters because there's gonna be a timer at the beginning where you have to take down, do DPS, first bar of the boss. Then after that, you need to go and look for the mirror. Usually on the other missions, right, you have to look for the fire to lit up and then break the mirror. But for this version, the final version, all you have to do is just get the wizards, take down the wizards, go to the mirror, and then lit up the fire. So during this jumping puzzle, everyone's different. I don't have stompies, so I'm not using stompies. I'm just trying to take down the raiders. Now I could turn invisible and skip the raiders, but I'm not gonna do that so much. I don't want to spam too much of invisibility for this video. Then this video will wind up being only hunter solo flawless mission. Only hunters can do it. You know, it wouldn't be fair. Especially when doing these type of missions. I do want to make sure all the characters can make it for this mission. I wanted to take down these raiders of what if I was on a Titan? What if I was on a Warlock? You know, on a different build, and I need to stand and take down the raiders or the snipers. So I'm gonna jump on this platform and then go on the next one. Once you go to this platform, you just need to go all the way down. Now, I was a little tiny bit confused, so make sure you go down on this platform and move forward. And be careful of the scripts, I forgot about that. Make sure you throw a stasis grenade, you know, a stasis turret for the Warlock or a grenade for your Titan, so you can take down the scripts. That way you won't get your solo flawless ruined from the scripts. Make your way to the tunnel, and then what we're gonna do is go to the next mission. And the next mission is actually going to the mirror, to the crystal room, and we have to do DPS at the boss. Now this is just for the puzzle if anyone's wondering. I was just testing it of what it does. So this puzzle, usually you have to lit 3 fire, and then a door will open for a puzzle. But we're not doing the puzzle, so my bad for that. I didn't mean to do this. I was just testing it just to double check if it does anything for the boss fight, and it doesn't do anything. It's just for the puzzle. It's for the catalyst for the shotgun. So don't worry. Don't worry, you don't have to lit the fire if you are just going for a solo flawless. This is the second mini boss, and like I said, there's going to be a timer, and you need to take down this boss as quickly as possible. Highly recommend to use a strong super or a strong weapon, depending on what build you have. So once you take down the boss, well, I usually go on the left side. So I'm going to go from the left side right now, and we're going to be looking for the wizards to take down and break the mirror. So make sure you are spamming abilities. You know, just pretend I'm Titan or Warlock. And I'm just going to take down all these curse trolls. So once you find this room in the mirror, this is the perfect time to clear all the ads. And just be very careful with the acolytes. Usually there is a fire to be lit up. But because this is the final mission, they changed the fire lids or the fire replacements for this mirror room. Usually there's one over here where I'm standing, so I was a little confused of why there's no fire lid. And it's because it's a different mission, the final mission. So I did stand here to double check if there's any fire lids, because usually there's one over here where I'm standing. But like I said, every mission, the other missions that you will encounter on the story is a little different of where the fire is. So once I realized that the fire is not here, I was thinking that the fire is probably going to be in the normal room. And I was right. So you actually need to lit 3 fire. And like I said, the other missions, the ones that is not the final boss, you have to lit probably 2 or 1 at the mirror room, and then there'll be 1 on this area. So usually I remember when I had to break the rocks, there was a fire. There was a fire lid on the back side. But for this version, the final version, there's 3 of them just in this room. And once you lit up all the fire and it says a door open elsewhere, then you just go straight ahead from this door. This door is going to open, and then this is when you proceed to the next area to do DPS at the boss. So now we're gonna do 1 bar of DPS at the boss at the mindbender. So be very careful with this guy, he likes to shoot arc. And the worst one, in my opinion, is the ads like to throw these void grenades, so be very careful. So we are going to deal with 1 more DPS mini phase to take down the 2nd mini boss. So make sure you go through the tunnel, and then we have to break the mirror very soon. So I was just double checking if there's anything else I need to lit up for the fire. So once you go to this mirror, there's going to be a timer, so just keep pushing forward. I was just double checking if there was anything I needed to do. So once we go to this area, then there's gonna be an ogre that will spawn from the right side. Then just use your super to do DPS at the mini boss, not the final boss. So once we defeat him, then you will complete the 2nd encounter, but the timer is still running out. So just make your way and escape. So there is a mirror up ahead. So make sure you go through the mirror because there is a timer, and if the timer goes 0, then you probably get bungeed. Alright? I mean, you don't go back to orbit, but the solo flawless is pretty much not there anymore. So once we take down the encounter, the 2nd encounter, now I'm going to be dealing with the Trickster. Yes, remember that guy from the very beginning? Yes, so I actually had some trouble dealing with this guy because he kept moving around, he kept setting up mines, and I don't know why I haven't read the modifiers, but some of the heavy bricks or the bricks were turning into mines. Maybe it's just me, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, maybe I'm seeing things, but I swear to the bungee, the heavy bricks turn into mines. And the good news is we're going to find out together. You know, I could be wrong about this. I was trying to climb trees, you know. Thought climbing trees would be a good idea, but it didn't work out. So make sure you take down the ads. You can also turn invisible and go upstairs. So that's another thing of what I should have done for this run. But yeah, look at these bricks. They're turning into mines. See, I wasn't over exaggerating. It was just so weird when I was doing this run. I was trying to get some heavy or special, especially heavy, and they were just turning into mines. So that's one thing I didn't know about, but now we know. So be very careful when collecting the bricks because it's a possibility that they could mess up your solo flawless run. And yes, I am going to take down the Grims. You know, they like doing the barrel rolls. Really despise it when they do that. Damn it, Peppy. Gave them some advice that I swear to the bungee. Why did it do it? Why did Peppy give these Grims the barrel roll method? So the Trickster is pretty unnoticeable, except he turns invisible. So the weirdest thing about this Trickster is he's very small. You know, you have to keep an eye on him because sometimes I made a mistake of anarchying the miners than the boss, you know, and he likes to turn invisible a lot, that's one, and he likes to set up mines, so be very careful when he is turning invisible. He likes to set up mines, it's really annoying, like that for example. He turns into bricks into mines. I don't know how and why, but the one thing that kind of bugged me is I didn't see in the modifiers, it didn't say that it can do that, or maybe it's just extra perk, not sure, secret perk. But I was noticing that this boss likes to make mini mines. So just be very careful when dealing with this boss. Now the good news is there's no infinite ads. There's no infinite ads, so you can take your time when doing DPS at this boss. It's just unfortunate that this boss was just turning invisible a lot, and it was kinda annoying because he just kept teleporting, he just kept turning invisible, and I'm trying to get him, but he just keeps running away. You know, just like Birthplace of the Vile, just like that boss likes to run away. I mean, if you guys thought the Birthplace of the Vile boss is annoying, I think this guy is way more annoying than the final boss on a GM. I mean, he's just turning invisible. I mean, I can't even get any DPS. He's just going back and forth, infinite of chakra, alright? Infinite amount of power. Alright, we did take down the Trickster, finally. Now we get to go for the final boss. So this is gonna be the final boss fight, and we're actually gonna deal with the boss from Hollow Layer. Yeah. And the map actually looks similar like Hollow Layer a little bit. A tiny bit, I would say. The boss is immune, alright. And we just have to clear ads. That's all we have to do right now. So what's gonna happen is you have to clear all the ads, and then there's gonna be a text. It's gonna be on his final stand or a wipe mechanic, and that's when you have to break the mirror and go to the crystal world or the crystal room. Now the crystal room or the mirror is in the middle of the map. From the right side where I'm standing. Just be aware of the void grenades, because I was having all these ads turning invisible and then trying to do DPS, you know, trying to go behind my character. So once the boss prepares for an attack, that's when you break the mirror, and we're gonna go to the crystal room. So now we're gonna have these grims, and we have a timer. So we do need to collect the emotes. And then once you collect the emotes, then you need to do DPS at the boss. Now the twist is this for this final phase or this final mission. Usually on the other missions, once you collect the emotes, you go back to the other world or the other room, the normal room. No, actually we're going to be hanging around in this crystal room. And you must take down the boss as quickly as possible. Alright? Because right now we're on a timer. But I'm assuming that once we have all the essence, the timer will be gone. I could be wrong, so we're going to find out together. So make sure you collect 10 essence from the green enemies right there that they just teleported. So once you get the empowerment, then you're gonna do DPS boss, and there's no timer, so just take your time. Do as much damage as you can. Use your super, use anarchy. I was just trying to take down the grims because they're the worst to deal with. So just spam anarchy, do DPS as much as you can. Use the glaive, and you should be able to take them down. And then there you go, we got the solo flawless for this exotic mission. Overall, the mission's really fun. I haven't done the puzzle yet, but hopefully the puzzle will be, hope it won't be too much of a chore of getting the puzzle done. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.